Steller Crown has officially released on September 13th, just this past Friday, and today we're going to be looking at what the pull rates are for this new set, as well as what the top 10 cards are of Steller Crown. Now, we should take these prices with a grain of salt, as the majority, if not all of them, are currently on a decline, and this is usually what happens. The card prices are a little bit more expensive during the pre-release. We have a little bit of a decline in the first week or two, and then they kind of settle off and start to have their gains. So really and truly, it's about finding the best spot, or that sweet spot of when to buy these cards, regardless of if you're an investor or if you're looking to actually collect this for your sets. So let's get started with the pull rates of this set. So Steller Crown here, looking at the different pull rates for the different types of cards. The hyper rares here, 1 in 1 in 37 for any hyper rare, but if you want a specific one, you're looking at 1 in 411. Special illustration rares, of course, are much more difficult, 1 in 540 here. I have yet to pull a special illustration rare that is, as you can see, pretty difficult. Looks like we're at the same levels of Twilight Masquerade. Maybe a little bit easier, as there's lesser cards in this set in comparison to some of the other sets here. And then looking at the special illustration rares, we're looking at 1 in 167 here. So it is, again, a little bit of a difficult one to pull here. I was lucky enough to get that Squirtle in my first pack that I opened, and I believe that one's going to make the top 10 as well. Of course, we've got the ultra rares as well as the A-specs in there as well, for those of you who are going for the master set. So again, very similar to some of the recent sets such as Twilight Masquerade. Not talking about Shrouded Fable, of course. Shrouded Fable is a super miss in my honest opinion. I don't like that set at all, and I'm glad that Steller Crown came out shortly after so that we can have something to talk about and look at together. So let's kick off the top 10 here, and the first card we're looking at here is Area Zero Underpaths. And this is actually an amazing card. I actually pulled this card in my, I think, 10th or 11th pack here, and I like the colors of it. It's really nice. It kind of reminds me of Reggie Ice, I believe it was, from from one of those rare trios. It's a really nice card. Again, playable card for those of you who are playing the TCG game. Has had a bit of a decline here, of course. $47 before it opened up here, and is all the way down to about $20. So whatever way you want to look at this one, there's a chance here for you to pick this one up at a reasonable price, half of what it was when it had started. And it may have a little bit further of a decline. Again, it's up to the individual on how they want to look at this. This is a good chance to get this card at a decent price. Gold cards tend to do okay. They're nothing special. The illustration rares are the ones that you want to really keep your eye on. So first card in the 10th spot is Area Zero Underpaths. The next card we're looking at here in the number 9 spot is Terrapugus EX, the gold version of Terrapugus EX. So the gold cards are really making their way here today. This one is all right. I like the rainbow concept here. Again, the rainbow cards are kind of making their way back here in a different shape or form, if you want to call it that. And this one as well started off as a $40 card here, and now is all the way down to $23. So about half the price here for this one. And again, these are US dollar prices that I'm talking in as well. And this one is another opportunity here to pick this one up as well at a decent price. Will we see this one go a little bit further down? There may be a little bit further decline, but for half of what it's worth right now, it's really not too bad here. I do see this one and some of the other illustration rares that we're going to look at start to make an upward trend in about a week or so. So do keep an eye out on these cards if you are trying to master this set, or pick them up, because there's an opportunity right now to do so. And now we've got our first illustration rare here, Dash Bun EX. This one is actually a really nice card. We can actually talk about the artwork on this one, because it's not just a gold card or whatever. This one actually looks really cool. He's just hanging out there, and you've got this beautiful pie. You've got all this food going on here. Pokemon's been doing a lot of things with food. A lot of their trainer cards or their waifu cards, they're having food all around the place, and this kind of reminds me of that as well. We've got a whole bunch of different dishes here, and then we've got Dash Bun just hanging out. It's a beautiful card. This one over here was topped out around $34, and now we're seeing it at a $23. So again, 20% down here. There's a chance here that this one will probably go down a little bit more as well. We don't know where the bottom is of any of these cards, of course. We're just looking at what the top 10 is and what their prices are currently. This could change rapidly in the next few days, of course. So Dash Bun is the number 8 card, and it is only $23, and it's a nice illustration rare in my opinion. The next one is Briar, our first trainer card here, and it's a decent card. If I was mastering this set, yes, of course I'd have to get it, but because I'm not mastering this set, I don't think I'm going to pick this card up if I don't pull it, of course. So we were looking at around a $48 price mark for this one at the top point here, and we went down to 27. So again, we're seeing the same trend over and over again with these cards. Major declines, 20, 30, 40% decline here on some of these cards. And there's an opportunity, again, as I said, if you're trying to master this set, this is a chance for you to collect these cards at decent prices. And you may want to wait and see. They may decline further as well. And in the number 6 spot, Bulbasaur makes the cut. A beautiful illustration rare. One of my favorite cards from this set, of course. My top 3, of course. It's just nice. It reminds me of the Charmander card from Obsidian Flame. Kind of has that same vibe with the Pidgeys and all that. It looks like he's opened the window and the Pidgeys are coming in, and I mentioned that in one of my previous videos as well. It's a beautiful card, and this one actually has had a 42% decline as well. So we were looking at $53 pre-market here, and now we are down to $30. May even go down further. We've seen it even sell between 26 and 35. So opportunities here for a cheaper price, opportunity for it to even wait a little bit longer and see if this one declines further so that you can pick this one up at a decent price if you're trying to master this set. And I believe this one is one of the favorite cards, as it is a top card and it's actually a nice card. So Bulbasaur takes the number 6 spot in the top 10 of Steller Crown. And now we've got some special illustration rares here. We've got Galvantula EX, who takes the number 5 spot. Not a super fan of this card, in my honest opinion. It's whatever to me. I think it's some people will probably like it, but I'm just not digging it. The tarot cards are not doing it for me yet. Maybe we'll see with some of the other ones when they come out with other sets, but so far I'm not too excited about them. We're at $52 here at pre-release, and we have gone down to $36. So again, another decliner here with this one. Again, some people will like this card, some people won't. Me, I'm kind of in between. I'm not too excited for it, but there it is, number 5, Galvantula EX. So here is another one that I really like here, Hydra Apple EX. It is a really cool card. It gives me those Slytherin vibes, you know, the snakes just coming out of the apple here. I'm hoping I can pull this card. I haven't pulled it yet. It would be really cool to add to my collection. Looking at the price points here on this one, so again, this one started up pretty high as well. We're looking at around $67 at its high point, and has gone down to $39. So again, another 41% decline here. We're gonna see if these cards decline further here, if they can get an even better deal. I'm gonna watch this one for a couple more days and see what happens. And if I don't pull it in my next few packs, I'll probably pick it up because I do want to have it for my personal collection. But it is a really nice card, actually. It's one of the preferred ones. I actually prefer this one over the more expensive card, which we're getting to here in a minute. So just to wrap this one up here, Hydra Apple taking the number 4 spot in all of Steller Crown. And taking the number 3 spot is Squirtle, and I actually genuinely believe that this card does deserve to be in the number 3 spot. It's a really nice card. I was actually lucky enough to pull this in my first ever pack of Steller Crown, and I'll always remember that. This one over here started off as a $51, $52 card, and has also declined to about a $40 card. So not as bad of a decline as some of the other ones, such as the Bulbasaur here, but still a bit of a decline here, 20%, and sitting around that $40, $41 mark. We'll see if this one declines further. I think this is going to stay in the top 5, as it's a really nice looking illustration rare card here. Squirtle deserves to be in there, and I just love the whole vibe, the summer vibes here. He's just sitting in the little pool there, splashing water at the Pidgeys. Again, similar concept with the Pidgeys hanging out with the Bulbasaur as well as the Charmander from Obsidian Flame. It's a really well done card, and definitely one that you want to add to your collections. So Squirtle takes the number 3 spot in all of Steller Crown. And in the number 2 spot is a trainer card, and Lacey takes that number 2 spot. This one started off super pricey, actually. We were looking at around $116 pre-market, and it dropped down to about $51, so more than half. This one had the biggest decline so far, 55% down here. It's a decent card. I mean, look, you know, she's hanging out there with her friends. It looks like they're at school or whatnot, but I don't think it's worth $116. I think it's kind of making its way back here down to 51. Probably will have even a further decline. And the trainer cards, they do well. Some of them do well at the beginning, some of them do well a little bit later on. But at the end of the day, it's usually the Japanese waifu cards that are the ones that do really well. And hence this one being an English one, I don't see it doing that amazing. $51 is a decent price for this one, as it's gone down 55%. I will probably watch this to see what happens with it and see if there's any further decline. But as of now, Lacey takes the number 2 spot in all of Steller Crown. And of course, the number 1 spot goes to TheRealVenusaur EX. And I think we all saw this one coming. This one was the chase card. This one was the one that everybody wanted. Not the one that I wanted, though. I'm not too excited about this card myself. I don't think it's worth what it is. We'll look at the value in a second here. concept is cool. You've got some, gems here, and again, it's the Terra concept, of course, and that rainbow color is coming back to play here as well. Personally, if I pull it, fantastic. If I don't, I'll probably won't pick this one up. Looking at the price of this card over here, $150 pre-market. That was what it was at, roughly at. And now we're down to 123, so down about 17%. Still a super expensive card, still one of the more expensive cards. We'll see what happens with this one. We'll see if this one takes a stab at the Twilight Masquerade's Greninja EX. I don't know if it's going to, in my honest opinion. I don't think it will, personally. I don't think it will. Greninja in general is a fan favorite. Greninja is a cool Pokemon. A lot of people like it. It was one of Ash's Pokemon. And of course, it will always be one of those Pokemon, kind of like a Charizard, that is preferred. Terrapugus, not so much, in my honest opinion. So will it be the number one card in this set? Maybe it will stay the number one card. Will it touch those $200-300 price marks? Personally, I don't think so, but we never know. We'll see what happens with it. But as of right now, Terrapugus EX is the number one card from Steller Crown at $123, and it's a decent card. Anyways, folks, that is a quick look at what the pull rates are for Steller Crown, as well as what the top 10 cards are from this set. Personally, for me, I'm not going to be going for a master set on this one. I will be collecting a handful of cards such as the Bulbasaur, Squirtle, which I've already picked up, as well as Hydra Apple EX. Let me know in the comment section below what your chase cards are from this set and how you're liking Steller Crown so far. Personally, it's a much better set than Shrouded Fable, and it looks like it's going to be at similar levels, maybe a tad bit lower than Twilight Masquerade. We'll see what happens in the future. We'll make another video to see what the prices are at that point. And if you guys like the content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. You guys are the greatest. My name's TRV, and we'll see you next time.